Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today let's look at the lead code question. The description of the question is as follows: that there's only one character on the screen of a notepad. So let's just make the note points. We have a notepad. So I'll just show you how that looks. So we do just have a notepad and initially character A is present in it. You can perform one of the operation. Okay, so currently we are having notepad similar to this. So what we could do is we could, in one operation, we could copy all the characters. So I'm just copying this and I could just paste it. So if you just check this out, we just need to find the number of operations that needs to be performed to get n number of A's on the notepad. So this is what we are looking for. So let me just explain you the first example. And in every case, we are having one A at the very beginning. So we need three A's. So to get three A's, currently my copy list or the thing which I copied is empty because at the very start, I do not copy anything. So in one operation, I could just copy all or paste all. So in first operation, there's no use of pasting because I haven't had anything copied yet. So I'll just copy this. Now, after copying this, one operation is already done. So I'll just write it over here. First copy. So one operation is already done. And then I'll just paste this out. So second paste. So I just pasted this down. And after pasting this, I do have either two options again. I could just copy entire thing. So here it's given that we need to copy all the characters present in the screen. In the other way, we could just press the Control A. So assuming that these are the instructions that I written, just press Command or Control A, copy everything, and then paste it. But if I copied anything and I pasted, then I'll be having 4 A's. But I do need only 3 A's. In that case, what I'll do, I'll just paste it again because earlier I had A copied already. So third paste also, one operation will be taking and this will be yielding me A. So initially I'll be having A, then A. So how many operations are required? Three operations are required. So got the point what we are trying to do. And if my n equal to 1, then initially I do have A already. So I do not need either to be copied or to be pasted. So that would be 0. So how we'll be proceeding for this is, it's very simple. The idea is to use the recursion calls, right? Why do we need to call recursion calls? So I'll just let you know. So if I need almost for example 10 years, so and my current state being is this, so obtaining from here to AAA or AAA to 10 A's, there are 10 A's, I perform the same operations. The operations are either copy entire characters or paste them. So for every subcase or for moving from this to this or moving from this to this, intermediary, I'm assuming that from moving for this to 10s, I'm having A as the intermediary step. So the steps that we took to reach from this to this will be the same as steps that will be taking to reach from this from A. So this would be a recursion call, right? How that recursion call would work is, I'll just explain you. I'm just calling it a helper, and in this helper I'll be having my total number of A's that are required. So here n represents total number of A's required, and I'll just call the current as well, which specifies the number of A's that are currently present on the notepad screen. Got it? And followed by copied. So what copied will be having is, copied contains the number of A's that are copied and can be used for pasting. So this is how it works. I'll just check if my n, or if my current characters on the notepad screen is equals to total number of characters that are required. In that case, I'll not need to perform any operations. That would be 0. And also just check if my copied is greater than n. If my copied is greater than n, then there's no use of pasting it. Then I'll just return 1 e power 5. Because if my copied is greater than n, then I do have only two options. I could just copy or paste. But current copied itself is greater than n. So there's no use of pasting because my current will be greater than n in that case. And I'll also check if my current plus copied is greater than n, because if I assume that I will paste the characters, then current plus copied, if that becomes greater than n, then also that won't make any sense because I'm having copied number of characters and my current characters are current. In that case, even though if I paste it, then I'll be ending up with the characters that's more than n. So that's no use of doing that. So that's also base case. And why I'm returning 1 e power 5 is simple because we need to return the max value in that case. If I return integer max, then at the end I need to add 1 to it, so that will be out of bounds. So I'm just returning 1 e power 5. And after that, I do have two cases. First one being copy. So I'll just call it copy, and that would be equal to helper of n current. If I copied all the characters, then what would be happening? My copied will become current plus copied, right? So I'm just telling you that, or it would become simply current, right? So I'm just saying that I'll just copy entire characters in that case. If I copied entire number of characters, then in that operation, how many characters will be there in the copied? All the characters, and that's equal to current. So that's first condition. And I'll just call paste. How, when will be calling pasted? When current plus copied, and copied will be remaining the same. So I'll just say that if I just pasted, then my current will become current plus copied, and my copied will remain the same. And I'll just need to return min of copy, paste, and plus 1, because in one operation, in this current iteration, I'll perform either of these operations. So that would add up 1 to it. So I'll just try returning helper of, this should obviously not work, and my current characters being 1 and my copied initially is 0. So I'll also specify here in paste equals to 1 e power 5 in the case that I'm initializing with the larger number possible, and I'm also specifying if my copied is equals to is not equal to 0, then only I'll paste it. If my copied is equals to 0, then what's the use of pasting it? Because that will call an infinite stack over it, because there's nothing in my stack and I'm saying that I'll paste nothing to it in the other case. So I'll just see here A, and I do not have anything pasted. So how, no matter how many times I press Control V, there would be nothing adding to it. So that would be an infinite loop. So I'll just specify if my copied is not equal to 0, then only pasting should occur. So it's a deadly signal in the sense that this also, if I copied current characters, then it should be current plus copied, I guess. Yes. So what's happening over here is, if I copied, I'm just specifying that I have currently copied number of characters, and if I perform the copy operation, then how many characters will I be having? That's current plus copied, right? So if I added 10 over here, so the reason for this is because I'll just help you understand in this. Bull, I'll just call other variable that's with the name bool last copied. So I'll also initialize copy with max number, and I'll specify that if my last copied is equals to false, then only I'll perform this operation and my copy will become helper of that's current. And here last copied will become true, and in this case it would be false. So why I'm adding this variable, I'll just explain you in a second. And initially copied is not there, so that would be false only. So this is working fine. Let me just try resetting these test cases. This should work fine. Yes, it's working fine. So let me just explain you what I done here exactly. So I do have two operations. One is either copy or paste. So for copying, I'm just specifying that. So here if my current characters are A, and I need in total 50 number of A's to be coming. So my copy I'm initializing with 1 e power 5. The reason being, so I'll just, in either of the cases, I have two operations. So first I'll just copy or I'll just paste. In the similar case, after this copying, I'll just copy or I'll just paste. For the next paste as well, I'll just have two operations possible. I'll just copy or I'll just paste. And here for this copy as well, copy paste, and again for this paste as well, it's again copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. So if you check my LHS, or my complete left tails would always be copy, and that would give me an infinite loop. That's the reason why we are seeing runtime error earlier, because what I'm doing is, that's my first case, and I'm specifying that these are my characters, and in every check I'm just checking control C, control C, control C, control C, control C, control C, and I'm not adding them to the last of it. So I'll just check if my last copied, in the sense that if the last iteration, have I copied or have I pasted. If I haven't copied, then I could copy currently, because in my last iteration copying is not involved. But in the other way around, if my last copied is true, in the sense earlier also I copied, so there's no use of copying now, because the same element will be there which is present earlier, and that would, if I haven't used this variable, then that would be an infinite loop, because I'll keep copying, copying, copying. So I'll just specify, if my last copied is false, then only I could copy, and in that case my copied will be true. If my last copied is true itself, then I couldn't copy, so that should be maximum value, initialize with maximum value, and here I'm assuming that maximum would be 1e5. And I'm also specifying here, if my copied is not equal to 0, then only I'll paste it, because if my copied is 0, then there's no use of pasting here as well. And after pasting, my copied will be false, because I just pasted in this iteration, so this will be false. And I'll just try uh, trying n for 1000, and I'll just check it out. It should work fine. Yes, it's working fine. Let me just submit this out. So yes, it did work fine. I'll also specify my compiler not to import any libraries from C that will be useful for taking input or giving output to terminal anything. So I'll just specify my cin.py would be null and cout.py also would be null. And I'll just try submitting this now. So generally it would reduce the time complexity, not time complexity, runtime by considerable amount if we use these pointers. So this is how it works. Feel free to add anything in the comment section if you think anything is unclear. Thank you.